What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour on 990 WBOB, the number one radio show for everything Bryant Athletics. I'm your host, Brian Kostiw, joining you remotely. I'm joined alongside, as always, by Matt Carvalho in our Sprout co-working studios. Matt, how you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing great, Brian. Can't be better on a lovely end of March day.
Absolutely. The weather's starting to turn. The snow you hope is going to be gone, but knowing New England weather, it's likely going to get at least one last big storm. I'd say before this all goes away. Just knowing things around here, but it's good. You're seeing the weather hopefully start to turn for the best, and maybe things are going to start to dry out, get a little warmer, and we get to see some more of those spring sports soon. So really looking forward to all of that. But listen, Matt, we got a great show in store for all you guys tonight. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to be joined alongside by head women's bowling coach and ECC champion Morgan Walsh. Then at 8:30, we'll welcome in Hayden Smith from the bowling team to recap their championship win, and we'll wrap up the show at 8:45 with Director of Cross Country Track and Field Mitch Switzer to discuss their first spring meet of the year and look ahead to their two-meet homestand. So it's going to be a great show. Excited to talk about all things with all guests tonight, so I can't wait to get into that. But Matt, to kind of start things off, so the women's bowling team over this weekend claims its first ever ECC East Coast Conference Championship down in New Jersey this weekend. For Coach Walsh, who's we've had on the show before, it's an incredible accomplishment for her. She has really put together a great group up in Smithfield, and credit to her that her first senior class of Liv Hillman, Laura Clark, Steph Katropoulos, and Abby Unson get the job done and win a conference title. And it was an incredible run for them. They were dominant throughout the entire regular season, had a 58 and 32 mark, and ended up finishing with four members of the all-conference team, three on the first team and one on the second team. And for Coach Walsh herself, she ends up taking home Coach of the Year honors, which was incredible to see for her. She is very deserving of those honors, and great to see them get that recognition they deserve.
Brian, I don't think you understand what's going on, Brian. The dogs are going dancing. Get excited, Brian.
Matt, it's a great time of year, obviously. For people that have listened to the show before, I had a chance to go cover the women's bowling championships last year when it was in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, hosted by Kutztown University. I went there. Yeah, I went there immediately following the NCAA tournament with the men's basketball team, had a chance to go watch them. And it was a great group. Obviously, they came up just short. They lost on Championship Sunday and were eliminated as the third seed. And then the year prior, they were the runner-up and have really been clawing at this for a while now. And to really get the chance to break through and, have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament is fantastic for them. It's been a hardworking group. I think that for them, they've really been, keying up on trying to get to this moment. That was kind of behind ECC Bowler of the Year, Olivia Hillman, and preseason Bowler of the Year, Laura Clark. They were really a dynamic duo for this team from the start, and really proud of their efforts and, all the work that they put in. Maddie Damer was also on the first team all ECC team, and Madison Lewis was second team for that group. So a really solid and, stacked group for them, and really awesome to see what they've been able to achieve. I think that, we'll talk with, Coach Walsh about that a little bit later, but for a coach in their first, for a program that's only existed for 4 years, you bring in these freshmen, you're trying to recruit them to a place that, hasn't had a structure for this kind of program. And you bring them in and you get your program ranked to number 18 in the country, and you go on to win a conference championship when they all reach their senior year. It's a great goal for Coach Walsh, where, great to have her here in Smithfield. She's done a great job recruiting this group and retaining a lot of them too. Obviously you had Jen Lyon last year or Genevieve Lyon, who graduated early and was able to be a part of that run last year. But to have this team go back to a conference tournament and, end up getting the win this year, really proud of them and, and Coach Walsh's achievements. But so Matt, listen, as we kind of continue on with the show, I will say this, some other news that kind of happened in Bryant this weekend. We'll talk about that. We had a pro day for Bryant football up in Smithfield. So you had a couple NFL scouts, had some people out looking at the Bulldogs as, some of them are looking to compete at the next level. This is, the time where, whether it's the Tom Kennedys of the world, obviously one of the more famous Bryant football alumni who have really broken through, obviously him being a standout with the Detroit Lions, or whether it being someone like, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a quick second. But yeah, just like, again, those kind of guys that are able to really break through and do that stuff. Kenny Dyson Jr., good friend of the show on my other podcast. He was someone else who was able to break through and get a training camp invite from the Carolina Panthers. Landon Ruggieri, who was able to get a training camp invite from the New York Giants. This is the real chance for them to have that kind of ability to break through and really see what they can bring to the table. So, Matt, any kind of thoughts on, pro day stuff with Bryant football? I think that we'll have Coach Merritt on next week, actually to give his thoughts on the whole thing.
Well, Brian, I'm just glad it's another opportunity for us to have Coach Merritt on the show. I'm happy for anything that involves us getting him back on the show.
I was about to say he's one of our, more frequent guests on the show. We love talking really anything with him. I know that, our last interaction, we talked some Bryant football, but we also talked about, his alma mater, Indiana, winning the national championship. We talked about a bunch of other things that were really great. So love getting a chance to talk with him on the show. We'll hope to have him on next week if we can get him around. But Matt, listen, we're going to head off to a quick commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be joined alongside by head women's bowling coach Morgan Walsh to discuss their ECC championship. Don't go anywhere. It's Kostiw and Carvalho on 990 WBOB. Welcome back to the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour on 990 WBOB. Kostiw and Carvalho with you here on Monday night. We're about to jump into our next guest of the evening, but before we do that, we just want to pay the bills real quick and just say that tonight's broadcasts are brought to you from Sprout Co-working for all your co-working needs, large meetings, office for a day, working remotely, events, or just trying to get away from the distractions at home. Sprout Co-working in Providence, Rhode Island has got you covered. The official co-working home of 990 WBOB. Now joining us on the Sprout Co-working Expert Hotline is head women's bowling coach and ECC champion Morgan Walsh. Coach Walsh, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back on with us. Congratulations on the championship this past weekend. We'll just start off first with your opening thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. We chatted a couple of months ago at this point, about, the longevity of the season and getting to here and, it's finally here. And, all that work that we talked about, a couple months ago has really paid off, and it's very rewarding for sure.
Absolutely. For you guys, in 2024, in 24, come up, finish as a runner-up. In 25, you guys make it to Championship Sunday, but, you guys, weren't able to get over it. This time, you guys get over the hump, you get that championship and are able to get it done. What was, I guess, the big kind of, the big difference and maybe the keys that led you guys to, getting it done this year?
Yeah, I mean, everything really kind of fell in our favor this year. The conference changed how they did their seeding. So they did it based on RPI this year, which means it put us in the number 1 seed, which was great. So all the work that we do put in during the season to really focus on playing the strongest opponents and catching those wins really paid off to put us in a good spot. But they were really hungry for it. I think having those 2 years, we're kind of that heartbreak of getting so close and, knowing that we could do it, just allowed them to really hunker down this year and get it done. But really, we talked about it a lot. It was just the smoothest it could have gone, as a weekend, going undefeated and just putting ourselves in the best spot to then have to be beat twice in the finals. Everything really worked in our favor. So, I think they really took those previous years as a learning experience and took all of that knowledge into this weekend for sure.
Absolutely. One of the key figures leading the charge for you guys in the lanes was Olivia Hillman, ECC Bowler of the Year, as well as ECC Preseason Bowler of the Year, Laura Clark. The two of them have been dynamic for you for many years at this point. For Olivia specifically, just taking that jump and really getting to this level, just what would you kind of attribute to that kind of success and her really reaching these heights?
Yeah, I mean, I really say as a coach that I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you my knowledge, whatever I can to make you the best you can be. And it's really just what you do with it from there makes a difference. And, Olivia was our first signee of the program ever. When I found her, I was like, she's going to be a great two spot. She'll fill some frames. Like she's going to be fine. Like we'll get her there. And, she just is a sponge. Like she takes in everything that I tell her and have told her over the past 4 years now and has really elevated her game to the next level. She wants it bad and, she has just learned her little quirks, how things work for her. And her and I just click very well too. I think from, a coaching perspective is I can just tell her, hey, stand here, do this. And she just sees it and does it the way that I see it too. Which is why I think that she has garnered the success that she has, but it's really on her. She's done all of the work herself.
Absolutely. Well, you yourself were named ECC Coach of the Year. Obviously, congratulations on that honor. I think a lot of that, can be reflected in the other all-conference nominees. You had 4 of them make the all-conference teams, whether it be, Olivia, Laura, or Maddie on the first team, or Maddie Lewis on the second team. Just, I guess, for the ability for all of them to really excel and kind of have that that kind of accomplishments all at once. Just how special was it to them to all really be able to come together in this kind of season?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for that. Uh, they have really good chemistry together on the lanes. They really vibe well together. Their team chemistry together just makes it so everyone picks each other up. I think that they just get comfortable and are able to kind of get into a groove together. I think the best way that I was able to see this was our last tournament of the year was the Stallings Invite in North Carolina, and we only had 7 there. It was a smaller roster, but those core 4 really just got into a groove together and learned how to grind when the lanes were tough. And they finished 5th behind the top 8 in the country. Like it was a crazy experience. So I think that they took that experience as, hey, like we can really do this together if the 4 of us rally together, and then we take the rest of the team kind of on our backs and go from there. And that really showed then also in, the all conference nominations that those 4, have earned it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, this is your first senior class officially. I know that Genevieve Lyon
Mhm.
graduated early last year, but for this kind of group to really come in and, have a chance of it being, Olivia, Laura, Steph, and Abby to really kind of build this program from when they first started, and, to have it kind of cap off with a conference championship, ranked top 20 in the nation, going to the NCAA tournament, all of these incredible honors. Just, how rewarding has it been to really get to see them with their growth and, have, in, your first senior class, these incredible achievements?
It's hands down the most rewarding thing I've ever done, even past my own collegiate career. I said, my why for coaching is to give them a better experience than maybe one that I had. And they have trusted me for 4 years, and I just owe them so much, for buying into what we've been trying to do, for trusting me and trusting the vision back, 4 years ago when they signed with us. And, I owe them so much for really just trusting me and allowing this to happen. But it's them, again, I always say, I'm going to give you the tools and it's up to you what you do with it. And they've really kind of taken full control of that. It's amazing.
Yeah, obviously, giving them the tools and those things are incredible. But for the fact that prior to you starting here, this was a program that didn't exist. Kind of recruiting them and trying to bring them to a place that maybe there wasn't an infrastructure for a bowling program. There really was that unknown. What does that kind of, I guess, say about them and their commit to you, to this school, and really taking a chance like that?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to how good of people and good of athletes they really are. I've grown to know all of them very, very well. We've spent 4 years together, through the good, through the bad. They've watched this program truly grow from the ground up. And the way that the team functions and the way that we as a group our core values are all built around them. And I just really think it's an amazing experience that, kind of a once in a lifetime experience too, that I don't think that they'll ever get to see again. And I hope that they really take the last 4 years and cherish and, value everything that they learned through being with us.
Yeah. You guys now prepare for the NCAA tournament. Just, give us your thoughts. Like, what's the, the vibe right now with the team? Just like, I guess that anticipation, just, what is that all like, for you guys down in Smithfield right now?
Yeah, I think that it's very surreal. I don't know if it's hit them yet. I was telling them, that this is very fluid and very, we'll see what happens type situation right now.
Yeah.
And Laura was like, oh yeah, this is happening like next week. You're right. Oh my gosh. So I don't think that this has kind of hit them yet, that we're doing this, like you're in the NCAA tournament. But it's very different for me too, because I went to the NCAA tournament twice as an athlete. It's such a fun and cool experience, and I'm so excited for them to get to experience it. But, I have to kind of switch hats and say, hold their hand kind of a little like I did when, they first started the program as an athlete and say like, we're going to get through this together. But it is very, it's so exciting, and I'm so proud of them for everything that they've done to get here.
Absolutely. Coach, before we go, for yourself of being an athlete who's been in that, a former athlete who's been in that situation, what would be, I guess, some advice that you probably will give them, but, advice that I guess maybe you wish you would have known prior to being in that situation, whether it's just taking the moment, kind of just analyzing it. What would have been something that I guess like that you kind of know now that, would have been some info that you would have wanted to know going into this, going into a tournament?
For sure. I think staying in the moment's a big one, because it is, especially for my seniors, this is potentially it. You put the work in to get here, but we were able to extend our season. But it's such a unique experience. You're only going to get it, within that 4 years of your time, as an athlete potentially. So take it in, stay patient, and just live in the moment, have fun. It's just such a cool experience, no matter what, to just have fun and be present.
Absolutely. Bryant will compete in the Bryant will learn its next opponent on Wednesday, March 25th at 4 p.m. in the NCAA selection show. You can watch that at ncaa.com. Coach Walsh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take care, Coach.
Thanks, you too.
All right, that was Coach Walsh of the Bryant Women's Bowling Program joining us here. We're glad to have her back on talking with us. Matt, we'll go to break pretty soon. When we're back, we'll have Hayden Smith from the bowling program on to discuss the recent championship and everything that kind of came to be with that. But again, just incredible, achievement for, this team, what they were able to accomplish. Getting a chance to watch them last year was really an incredible experience, seeing what they were able to all really, come about and do. And the fact that they were able to break through this year in New Jersey was really incredibly special. So we thank Coach Walsh for stepping on to the show again. We really appreciate it. So at this time, we're going to hop on to a quick commercial break. When we're back, Hayden Smith of the bowling program will join us. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to 990 WBOB. Welcome back to the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour on 990 WBOB. Costa and Carvalho with you here on Monday. We're about to jump in with our next guest of the evening. They are brought to you by the Sprout Co-working phone lines. For all your co-working needs, large or small, visit sproutcoworking.com. Now on the line is Hayden Smith of the women's bowling team. Hayden, how you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, Hayden. Glad to have you on the show with us tonight. First of all, congratulations on the championship. We talked with your coach just a couple minutes ago. Again, we'll kind of just start with opening reactions. Just we'll kind of start with on your end.
I still can't believe it, honestly. I mean, I woke up this morning and it just didn't feel real, but it's amazing all the same.
Absolutely. Kind of similarly, we talked about it with Coach Walsh. You guys were a runner-up in 24, made it to Championship Sunday in 25, and this year you guys actually get it done. Just what really went into, I guess, the preparation this time around, and really all the hard work to get it done.
I mean, I think the biggest thing was definitely our teamwork this year. We were very open, we communicated a lot, and everybody just gave it their all, every single practice, every single lift. And when we went to tournaments, we went with a winning mindset. So when we went to ECCs, we were more than prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. In the championship round, you had a solid 139 to really help out the score there. Just for you yourself in a competitive environment like that, how do you kind of stay focused and really try to deliver?
Well, it's definitely stressful, so I think everybody was feeling it there, but to really, like, keep myself in check and be there for the team, it's just relying on one another and knowing that if you miss a spare or make a confident shot, either way, you have a whole team of people ready to back you up and help you out. So just really relying on everybody helps.
Absolutely. Obviously, a great senior class it helps with that. You have Liv Hillman, you have Laura, you have Steph and Abby, that have been veterans and have been a part of this program for 4 years. Just how has that mentorship really helped you in your development as a player?
Um, well, when it comes to Laura, she's been someone that I can always look up to. She's been a great leader, a great role model, one of our team captains. She's just someone I can always turn to just know that I can be confident in what I'm doing. And with Liv, she's been such a consistent person to have on the team, and she always just kind of leads the way for everybody when it comes to actual bowling. So it really helps to have two people like that. And then Steph and Ab, they are such loud supporters, and it's great to have them. And they're always ready to help other people during practices. So really just all of their leadership has really pushed us forward as a team.
Absolutely. For Coach Walsh, this is her first senior class that's had a chance to really, go all the way through, and they win it this year. Just how happy are you guys, that they were able to end their college careers with a championship like this?
I mean, ever since my freshman year, I've wanted to win it for my seniors. I mean, technically my freshman year I didn't have seniors, but last year and this year, it's just been like the first thing in the front of my mind every single championship. So being able to actually accomplish that this year has been nothing short of amazing.
And then how has Coach Walsh's leadership really, I guess, helped you particularly? She was kind of talking about, giving you guys the tools and, letting you guys go from there. But, just I guess particularly, how has she really helped shape you?
Just the fact that she believes in me. And, like, everybody at some point goes through a little dip in their career where you maybe lose your confidence for a little bit, but she has always been there to support me and just, like, lift me up through that time. And I came back this year, like, better than ever, ready to just help out my team the best I can because she was able to help me through that and just be so supportive no matter what.
Similarly to a lot of the seniors, you joined this program that was 1 year in. There really wasn't an infrastructure for a bowling program at Bryant University, with it only being a year old. What about this school? What about the program really intrigued you to join them?
Honestly, it was when I met Coach Morgan. Like, from the minute she first reached out to me, she was just so welcoming and warm. And then when I came on my official visit, just I was able to connect with her on like a level related to bowling. And it just like it sealed the deal for me personally. And then when I went for an official visit and I met all the seniors, they were just so welcoming, and I knew they were people that I wanted to be around for the next 4 years of my life.
Absolutely. I know it probably hasn't all settled in that you guys are competing in an NCAA tournament. I know it's all pretty crazy. Just how have these past couple hours been with you guys just processing all this news?
I mean, we've all been talking a little bit back and forth with each other about it, and like I said before, it doesn't feel real, but we're all so proud of each other and we're excited. We're ready to go into the next weekend and just get as far as we can in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you guys have a selection show coming up on Wednesday. What's that like? Maybe not. I know that you kind of have it a little bit in the playoffs when you're going through the matches, but you can kind of shape out and be like, all right, we're probably going to play, these people if they win their matches. There's kind of an outline there. With this, it's a little bit of mystery as to what the next opponent is going to look like. What's that like? That anticipation as you guys await that next opponent.
I think we're just eager to keep bowling and just compete against people that are going to provide a challenge to us and just show that we are a great team and that we can get this far and then go even further.
Absolutely. I guess as we kind of wrap things up here, ranked number 18 in the nation, incredible achievement for you guys. I guess just what are the keys to keeping this thing going? I know that you guys are going to go into it with a great mindset, everything like that. How do you carry this momentum forward?
Just having faith in each other and knowing that if one person is maybe falling behind a little bit, there's four more people in the back, like waiting to go, ready to go, just so able and willing to support one another. It's just such a relief to have like in the back of your mind when you're competing.
Absolutely. Hayden Smith of the women's bowling team here with us. Hayden, we wish you guys the best of luck in the NCAA tournament. We will talk with you real soon. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, Hayden. All right, that was Hayden Smith of the women's bowling program on with us tonight. Obviously, Bryant winning the ECC championship this past weekend in New Jersey. An incredible honor for them. Can't wait to see what they do next with the selection show coming up this Wednesday. So, a great group. Coach Walsh has put together a great team in just 4 years, and we're seeing it really kind of pay off now. And, for a school that, again, didn't have an infrastructure for a bowling program, at any point, probably the most notable bowling at Bryant University was the old bowling alley under Koffler that got, taken down many years ago. That was the most notable kind of bowling stories associated with Bryant University. Now they have a conference championship to their name and are going to the going to the big dance. So an incredible honor for them. Extremely excited on their end. And really can't wait to see what happens next for them. They have an incredible support system with Coach Walsh. Those parents are out at every single meet or every single match, rather, supporting them day in and day out. And, those matches can get very, very rowdy. It's a great environment, and they're extremely supportive. It's a great community, for all of these athletes. So we are really appreciative of, Coach Walsh and Hayden for stopping along the show. We'll go to a commercial break relatively soon, but before we do, Matt, any thoughts on your end that you just want to add in, whether it be about the bowling team, anything else going on with Bryant Athletics? Just I'll give you the floor.
Well, Brian, I got a brand new nickname for the women's bowling team.
Oh yeah, let me hear it.
Can we call them the Bryant Bulldogs?
Oh, trust me, Matt. You're not. I hate to say it. You are far off. That has been that has been their original. No, they have had ownership of that one for some time. I will say that it's actually one
T-shirt then.
It's actually one of their chants after one gets a strike. That's actually one of their very nuanced chants there. So they're antiquated with that, and they know their stuff there. So but yeah, I mean, listen, again, a great program. Congratulations to Coach Walsh and all those players for the hard work that they've put in to get to this moment.
Absolutely, Brian. The dogs are going to the dance. What's more exciting than that? It's March, baby. It's March.
You cannot stop them. But yeah, it's incredible to see. Really excited for whatever is going to happen next. So listen, Matt, we're going to head off to a quick commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be joined alongside by Mitch Switzer, director of the cross country track and field program, to discuss their last weekend in South Carolina and look ahead to their 2-meet homestand. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the final segment of the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour. Final segment of the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour with you here tonight as we close things out. Brian Kostiw and Matthew Carvalho with you here. Before we get into our final guest of the evening, we just want to tell you to join the WBOB team this spring, watching the Bulldogs at Burns Stadium. Single game tickets for men's and women's lacrosse are now on sale at BryantTickets.com. For more on the Bulldogs, listen right here to the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour on 990 WBOB. Now for our final guest of the evening, joining us via the Sprout Co-working Expert Hotline is head track and field coach Mitch Switzer. Coach, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back on the show with us. Obviously, you guys are coming off your winter season and just had your first spring meet down in South Carolina. We'll kind of just start with your opening thoughts from that meet.
Yeah, it was great. We've done that trip now for quite a few years where we head down to Charleston, South Carolina. We train all week and then competed a meet at Charleston Southern University. And it's an interesting time of the season because it's right, it's the start of our outdoor season, but not long after the end of our indoor season. So, we're training pretty heavily. It's not set up necessarily to light the world on fire, but our hopes is that it sets us up in a really great place to carry the rest of the season. And I think we were able to do that. I mean, we were able to walk away with a school record. So to start the season with a school record right away is great. We had a lot of athletes who were, either at their PR or just under their PR. And just, getting the chance to go down for a week and come together as a team, especially as, the outdoor season goes very, very quickly. I think there's a lot to be said about that as well.
Absolutely. That school record, of course, being taken by Maddie Guerrera in the 100-meter hurdles. For a freshman like her, she's really had a meteoric rise, coming onto the scene here and has been really fantastic, setting the record in the indoors as well. For you're getting the chance to kind of watch her, what has really been, the key, I guess, to her early success here in Smithfield?
She is just incredibly excitable, loves the sport. But also has a competitive switch that when it's meet day and the gun's about to go off, she wants to beat every single person that's next to her. And I think that's one of those, intangible things that, sure, you can try to get it out of athletes, but when people have that innate drive, good things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, going down to South Carolina, it's a great opportunity for this team to bond. And, you're in the warm weather down there. You're getting a chance to, I've seen videos of the distance team on their runs on those back trails in the woods, which is awesome. I mean, for you guys, you guys have that winter season to really bond and kind of do those things. And you guys are practicing on campus. But, having a trip like this and being able to go down, just how special is that when you guys are able to really, build those kind of connections?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time with the team. Like, we're one of the few schools that gets the opportunity to do that. There's something to be said for spending 17 hours on a bus one way with all of your teammates and then spending a week together in houses and, at the track at practice. And, as a coach, you sit back and you kind of watch a lot of the interactions. And it's cool because you see people connect that throughout the year, don't normally get the chance to. New friends kind of get made. People start to understand their teammates a little bit better. And so it checks all the boxes for what you would want, especially as you're trying to kind of reset and go into outdoor.
I was about to say, so you can really see, I guess, maybe it's with the freshmen or transfers or whatever you can call it, but you can, I guess, on those trips, you can really see those barriers break down then.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really awesome. So obviously a great meet for you guys there. You guys are now returning home, for a 2-meet stretch here. You guys are first going to start things off on this Friday. What was originally known as the Black and Gold Invitational. I know that you guys recently came out and announced that you guys are going to be renaming that in honor of Jaylin Rainford, who, tragically passed away this past January. Obviously, an incredible honor to get the chance to do that. I'll let you just speak on that, to kind of start.
Yeah. Normally that first home meet that we have is one of our biggest meets of the season. But as we kind of sit and talked a lot as a staff and planning the outdoor season, and really kind of reflecting just on the impact Jaylin had on all of us, and especially me as a coach and as a human and as a person, I really wanted to find a way that could allow his memory to continue to live on every single year. I never want people to not say his name again. And so, I worked with the administration, talked with our staff, and we kind of figured, like, this is a meet that has happened almost every year that I've been here. It will continue to happen every year. What better way to continue to say his name than to name the meet after him? He just had he had the ability to connect and make an impact on every single person that he came in contact with. And so, that meet, when we have anywhere from 12 to 17 schools coming every single year, for that many people to continue to say his name, continue to, hopefully feel at least a little bit of an impact that he was able to have on all of us. It really means a lot.
Absolutely. He had an incredible impact on the community from the very first second he stepped on campus. For you guys, having this kind of, thing, and it being so soon, when did the momentum, to have this renaming really, I guess, start to really take place?
I think kind of towards the end of the indoor season, it was something that we kind of talked about, and there's obviously a lot of moving pieces to be able to make that happen. And so it started then, but, we just announced it kind of last week. So it really kind of took a while to get everything together because we wanted to do it in the right way, and make sure that by doing it, we're honoring Jaylin and who he was.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's an incredible honor to gain that, and looking forward to all the athletes competing that weekend. So, really going to be special to watch. Obviously, the weekend following, you'll have the Ocean State Cup, bringing back in all the teams from Rhode Island of all divisions, which is another great, exciting thing that came about last year. We got to see that, and it was incredibly special to watch. Just I guess give a little bit of insight on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, so that meet, obviously this is the second year that we're hosting it. Last year for the first year went awesome. That was a meet that I'd wanted to do for a really long time. We have some great athletes in our state just in the sport. And I think when you look at a competitive standpoint, we wanted to create a meet that was for Rhode Island, represented the state well. And so that meet, we score both men and women combined, which no other meet we go to does that. And I think it's a really cool way to kind of show what program overall in the state is the best program in the state. We came very, very close to winning it last year. We lost by 6 points to URI. I would love for us to win this year and bring the cup back home. They have it for their win last year, but we're excited to be able to go back to back at home meets. The first one being a pretty large meet, and then the second one being a little bit more intimate, but probably a little bit more competitive overall.
Yeah, absolutely. When we look, ahead at the Rainford Invitational coming up this weekend, obviously when it was the black and gold these past 2 years, you had, some great, competitions, whether it being Jasmine Trott winning the 10K in back-to-back seasons. I guess what would be some other things that, you're excited to kind of see going into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we had a great indoor as a team and as a program. Both the men and the women, especially the men. The men had a much better indoor this year than we had last year. Our women, both last year and this year, were phenomenal. So it's kind of hard to compare. But what I'll say is, we have a lot of really talented freshmen, and that shown through a lot through the indoor season. And I think for us, having our outdoor season, these next two meets at home, I really look forward to how they compete at home, because our upperclassmen have done it before. They know the excitement. They love it. They love being able to perform at home, and our freshmen have never done it before. And so when you have some talented freshmen and they're able to be around that energy and excitement, I think there's some pretty cool and special things that can happen.
Yeah, these talented freshmen as well are also, kind of a reaction of now, we're starting to see the America East level of recruits starting to come through this program. Just again, how exciting is that? Getting the chance to, bring in this caliber of talent and seeing it really seeing it really kind of have this kind of an impact so early on.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been a long time coming for us to kind of build and develop the program, and I feel like we're at a point where, in the last couple of years and in next year's recruiting class already, like, we have just some incredibly, incredibly talented recruits that come in, and we're fortunate that we've gotten to a point as a program where we're attracting those athletes as well. And obviously being in the America East helps that tremendously. It's an incredibly competitive conference. But we're fortunate to kind of be where we are and be at a point where we're attracting, really great athletes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Bryant track and field team will compete in the inaugural Jaylin Rainford Invitational this Friday. Coach, we wish you the best of luck, and we will talk to you real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Take care.
All right. Take care, Coach. All right, that was Director of Cross Country Track and Field, Mitch Switzer, joining us here on the program. Glad to have him on and discuss all things with the team, as well as the inaugural Jaylin Rainford Invitational, which we had talked about. And it's an incredible honor to have that named after him, an incredible athlete, but also an incredible person that really, was a special part of the program that, is dearly missed. So I really appreciate, that's a very incredible honor there, and really can't wait to see what they do this weekend in that meet. So listen, Matt, I know that we're still have a couple minutes left on the show, but, anything that you want to just talk about, before we sign off, anything in regards to the bowling, in regards to the track meet itself before, we sign off for the night?
Well, Brian, just some very exciting stuff for the Bryant Bulldogs. Spring sports are completely here, which is fun. Can't wait to see all these things take off. I know we still got to conclude a few things. Women's bowling, I think it's very exciting. I think it's great. I'm glad I came up with that new nickname. That was definitely my thing. I'll take ownership for it.
Yeah, totally not original, but we'll give it to you for the night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I will say this. I have to say for them, I mean, they have been going for a while. Like, I mean, their first meet of the year, Matt, was on October 24th. They did take some time off, towards the end of November-ish, and then kind of came back in January. But it's been kind of all things go for them, since the fall. So the fact that they have been able to stay as competitive as they are, maintain that ranking in the top 25, you got to give them a lot of credit.
Oh, absolutely, Brian. Definitely got to give him credit for what seems to be like a marathon.
Yeah,
marathon length.
I was about to say it is a marathon. Again, when you look at their overall record, it's for all the matches played, it's 58-32, and just the fact that they're competing that much is absolutely ridiculous. Like it's an absurd number. Over 90 matches that you're kind of playing in there. So the fact that you're doing that much and you're able to maintain and by the time you get to the conference championship be ready to go, it's a real testament to, I guess, their agility, to their just strength, being able to hold on and really getting the job done. So congratulations again to Coach Walsh, to all the members of the Bryant bowling team on their conference championship. It is well deserved and a long time coming. So very grateful to see them get that done this weekend. And then also, with track and field coming up this weekend with the first annual Jaylin Rainford Invitational, having a chance when I was an SID at Bryant to really cover the track and field team. Jaylin was a great, sport. He, was an incredible person. And, I can tell you that his teammates miss him dearly. So, that's, I guess, all we have for here tonight. Excited for what the future of both of these programs looks like as we move forward into the spring. So, Matt, we're going to sign off from here. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Coach Merritt to recap Pro Day and, some other guests as we get into it. But from Brian Kostiw and Matt Carvalho, this has been the Bryant Bulldog Sports Hour on 990 WBOB. Take care and peace out.